Hey, welcome to my channel Fine Art Diary and welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to paint this abstract painting. I'm going to share each and every little steps and the tools I'm going to use for this painting. So first of all, let's talk about the materials I'm going to use. These are some pigments from different brands like Schminke, Senelia and Citius Pigments. This is a jar of 500 ml gesso, which will be very helpful to create textures on the canvas. I am having some scrapers to spread the gesso and to create textures on my canvas. This is an acrylic medium I am going to use for my painting. This also will act like a binder for my pigments. These are some spatula and palette knives. Very often I use for my paintings. You can see I am having different size and shapes from a bigger one to very small, and sometimes these are very helpful. Two types of regular brushes I am going to use. One will be bristle, which will be hard, and the next one will be Taklon brush, which will be very soft, and you can see how soft this Taklon hair is. These are good for acrylic painting. I am also having some sponge, which can be very helpful to create textures while working with gesso. You can see these are all natural sponge with different textures. Some textures are bigger in size, and also some textures are very tiny in size. You can see this. I will focus. I really like to use these pencils in my painting. These are all different, and in my today's painting maybe these are I am going to use. So this is a color pencil from Staedtler. This is a water soluble graphite stick, you can see, from Camlin, and this is a very nice product I very often use in my painting. This is a sanguine. I love the warm brown color of sanguine, and later on this color can be a part of your painting, and that's why very often I use it. This is a red chalk, you can see, and this is also having a natural color, and this is a sepia color pencil. This also can be blended in your painting. So these are the materials I'm going to use in my today's painting with my acrylic paint. Now let's move on to the canvas. This is a 10-ounce medium grain canvas today I'm using, and sometime I just stick it on a board and sometime I stretch it. Today I fixed it on a board. The size of the canvas is 20 by 20 inch, a square shape canvas. Now let's move on to the painting process. First of all, I am going to apply the gesso to the canvas by using my scrapers. The goal is to create textures. Here each stroke is intuitional. Just follow your heart. You have to transfer the energy to the canvas. And this is what I am trying to do over here. I am loving the viscosity of the gesso and I am trying to use it to create my texture over here. You can see how beautiful textures I am getting by using this spatula, and each and every texture I am trying to get different. So here you can see the scraper created different kind of texture and this spatula created different kind of texture. To create variation, I'm using this sponge. You can see this texture is totally different than the spatula. Wherever I'm getting some thick gesso area, I'm using sponge to get the texture. Giving some marks on the canvas. Because the gesso is still wet, I can use it to create some marks. Actually, I'm trying to create some lines over there. Now let's check out some close-ups, what we have got so far. There are some very interesting textures we have got. You can see this area out of sponge we have created, and this is out of spatula. So far looking interesting. You can see how all the textures are different. I kept it for 4 hours and it is dry now. My next plan is to create some constructive line. So the process of my painting will be to make it and again break it, again make it, again break it, so like that. So one constructive process, and the next one will be just to break it. Again next process will be to construct it, again next process will be to break it. So like that we'll move forward, and the painting itself will tell us when and where exactly to stop. So let's move on. Here I am drawing some curves as well as some straight lines just to balance the shape, and for that I am using charcoal as well as sanguine and red chalk, as I told at the beginning. Now I am going to use the water soluble graphite stick just to create some random marks. Later on I am going to sprinkle some water on it, and it will be diluted and will go to the groups of the texture, and my texture will be prominent. Now it's time to use some pigments. This is green earth pigment. This is a grey pigment which is having violet tint in it. So this can create a very nice grey after diluting into the water. Now I am pouring some acrylic medium into it wherever the pigments are there. So my intention is the pigments will be blended with the pouring medium, and the pouring medium will act like a binder. Sprinkling some water on the surface, and you can see how my graphite marks are getting blended with the water and creating very nice texture. Now spreading the pigments all over the canvas wherever my heart is telling me to do it. And you can see I'm getting a very nice grey. Somewhere it is green, somewhere it is kind of violet. And again, before some time I have given some pencil marks on my canvas, and I'm just trying to follow those lines so that later on I can get some constructive shapes in those areas. You can see over here how beautiful textures I am getting to the pigments, and in this stage at least I have decided my painting, the final output is going to be grey dominated. So my further process will be according to that. Now it's time to add some darks in my painting. I am applying a mixture of Paynes grey and Prussian blue, and you can see how beautiful dark I am getting over there. This is how it is looking after it is dry. I'm going to add more dark to it, and I'll do some more modification. Okay, now this is the time to add some highlights to the painting. I have chosen this area because maybe this is going to be my focal area of this painting. So I will give a couple of strokes in this area and will try to convert this area into the focal area of this painting. Adding more white here and there just to create different shapes and to create contrast wherever I am feeling to do it, and making some prominent shapes. Change in plan. In this area, I want a bright circular shape to make a focal point, and for that I am using this stencil. I sprinkle some water in that area to create those marks. Now more adjustments, and I'm going to add more darks, maybe little pigments here and there, and then I will decide later on what to be done later. Now it's time to add some smaller detailing. Here in this area, I am trying to create a motif, and maybe I can create 2 or 3 motifs in this area, and this will be my focal point. I have done a little adjustments in this area and now I am quite satisfied with these shapes. Let's move on to the smaller detailing. I think I'm done with this painting, and let's have a look to the close-ups. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you are having any suggestion, please write it down in the comment box. And don't forget to subscribe because in future I'm coming with many more painting techniques. Thank you so much for watching.